click on the subscribe button, and press the bell icon, to never miss any updates.
Welcome to Face to Face. I'm your host, Dr. T.K. Nakagaki. I'm the president of the Heiwa, Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York, and also former president of the Buddhist Council of New York, and also former vice chair for the Interfaith Center of New York. And so we have a lot of activities that I'm doing with the interfaith of Buddhist community, or based upon some of the peace principle. And so today is no guest, first of all. And when I don't have a guest, I just wanted to have a moment of silence. So, we are always running around, in our city. So it would be good to have a moment of silence and calm down your mind, so you're ready for, for this program. Okay? So what I would like you to do is simply relax your body, relax your mind, and try to breathe in and out slowly and deeply using your lower stomach. And you can just use your nose and lightly maybe close your eyes. Not tightly. I don't want you to go back to sleep anyway. So be aware. And so you can try to open your eyes of your mind. Okay? Again. And then keep your back straight and relax your body and follow your breath. I'll ring 3 bells. So those 3 times that you'll be calming down, and just simply breathe. Breathe in, breathe out slowly and deeply. Okay, open your eyes, and so welcome back again. And I hope you feel a little refreshed, because although this is a little short period of time, it is always good to have the moment for yourself. And I think this is very common for many religious prayer too, right? Of course, there's different chantings and so forth that each tradition has. But we do have also the moment of silence, so moment of prayer. Prayer is almost like also silence as well. And so I hope you enjoy this part of the show as well. Now, each time I try to bring some of the topic, and for today, I'm thinking of bringing the golden rules, which is kind of old, but still, this is one of the rules that the quotes from the different tradition, and thinking of how you treat others based upon their scriptures. And then each tradition bring just one phrase. So I'm sure, each religious tradition has more things to say about how you react, how you treat others. And, sometimes in our life, we just simply ignore the other people, or you can be friend of other people. And sometimes you say hello and then you don't know who they are. Many reactions, many interactive with other people. So that's how we live our society too. And so this golden rule is something based upon the scriptures, and then also how you treat others. So I just wanted to introduce, I have actually, that's one of the reasons I brought the computer here today. So, and I'm just going to read a couple of them, and hopefully I'll try to read all of them at the one time. But that's going to be a little bit too long. So I'm going to just introduce half of it. But it's basically the same idea. But maybe you'll see. So let me read first, and then you will find out what I meant. It's just similar. First of all, this is alphabetical order. We start from the Baha'i faith. Lay not on any soul a load that you would not wish to be laid upon you, and desire not for anyone the things you would not desire for yourself. Okay, so this is Baha'i faith. Maybe I should read it one more time for each one, so at least you have chance to listen twice. Okay. Lay not on any soul a load that you would not wish to be laid upon you, and desire not for anyone the things you would not desire for yourself. Does it make sense? Okay, so next one is a Buddhism, which is part of my tradition. Treat not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. Again, treat not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. So, so you get a little bit of the similar sense of how you treat yourself, treat others, and treating yourself. And again, next one is a Christianity. Here it says, in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this is the law and prophets. One more time, Christianity. In everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this is the law and the prophets. Okay, so how many more I shall do? This next one is Confucianism. It's one word which sums up the basis of all good conduct: loving kindness. Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. One more time. Confucianism. One word which sums up the basis of all good conduct: loving kindness. Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. Sorry, didn't do smoothly read, but well, I don't know, it's too much to emphasize the point, but yet, each tradition has a similar saying, right, as you can see. Now let me go to at least two more. And so next one is a Hinduism. It says, this is a sum of duty. Do not unto others what you would not have them do unto you. And this is a sum of duty. Do not unto others what you would not have them do unto you. And one more, is the Islamic tradition, Islam. Not one of you truly believes until you wish for others what you wish for yourself. Again, not one of you truly believes until you wish for others what you wish for yourself. So this is a half of it. So maybe next session, maybe I'll try to read again. And but you can see, how you treat yourself And then you can treat others the same way, basically. If you feel like if you don't want it to be treated this way, then you don't want it to treat others the same way too. If you don't want it to be ignored by other people, then the same way you shouldn't ignore other people too, right? Or you want it to be treated kindly, one of them says loving kindness, then you want it to also treat others with your loving kindness as well. It's a very simple yet sometimes we don't do. When we treat ourselves, we treat nice, but then when we treat others, sometimes we treat bad. So that happens too. So this part of the golden rule is actually sharing the thoughts of understanding of yourself, and then that apply to the other people. Yeah, I think this is a very practical things you can start doing even, maybe when you deal with, of course, your friend. Yeah. So how you deal with your friend, or what kind of relation you wanted to build the friend. In Buddhism, of course, there are many different leaders, but one of the, well-known leaders nowadays in our century is His Holiness Dalai Lama, his Tibetan tradition. That's not, myself is a Japanese tradition, by the way, and Pure Land Buddhism. So, among the Buddhism, there are different traditions and a different country develop. So slightly there's a differences among the Scripture is basically the same, but yet scripture, each one develop in each country. So they adapt certain elements of each country. So kind of different. Well, even like a color of the clothes. Sometimes Tibetan Buddhism tend to be more reddish kind of clothes, and Sri Lanka or other Theravada countries, so-called Southeast Asian countries, tend to be more yellow robe, and Chinese or all those area has a different color, which is more like a mix with a different, based upon the occasion. Sometimes they black type of color, they have a yellow type and red type, and so there's many mixture. And then Korea, when you go to Korea, it tend to be very gray. And then to Japan, it tend to have more black. So actually, you can tell this, what I wear is a little more black type of way, the dark blue actually, but so which means, so some difference of the even robe. But anyway, so that's just the side of the story. And His Holiness Dalai Lama, he has been, sharing a lot of talk in different places, in different occasions. And but one of the messages is actually compassion or loving kindness. So be compassionate or bring the love. So that become the central part of the message these days. And part of the Buddhism also, it is a message of wisdom, but also compassion. And both are actually very, very important. And the way that I think the part of Buddhism, that wisdom works, is you try to see yourself. And then, you know what you need. And then once you know who you are, then you can apply to others. So that's how it works. And so this golden rule that I share is always one or the other. You do the things that you wish to be doing it. But then the other one is you try not to do things you wish not to do. So those two are basically the two aspects of golden rule. And so here's my choice whether I should continue to read them all so that you can get the sense of totality, or we just wait a little bit for the next time. And so I can live up to you, but of course I can't hear you what you think. So maybe in this case, I will try to expand a little bit of my own experience of this what do you call it, golden rule, especially like a part of the treating others. The one thing is each tradition have their own, unique teachings, unique system, worship, prayer, certain ways. But then what's going to happen when you meet other faiths? That's always a challenging part. And interfaith part of work is very important when the world is getting smaller, maybe. So like, when you think of the time, the time have changed, right? Before, you only see, all the village itself is all Muslim, or all village itself is all Christian, or the Buddhism, Hinduism, and so nobody else in a way. But then when so-called stranger, for yourself, for ourselves, comes, then what's going to happen? And so sometimes there's a religious conflicts because what you believe and when the others believe is different. In that case, what are you going to do? So that's the beginning of interfaith. So interfaith itself is really like encountering other culture, other people that you don't know, or so-called stranger. But then in a way, everybody's a stranger when you are, when you're born and you never met anybody, and you start expanding your circle of meeting. And you start learning how to react or interact with your family, and then you start going to the school. So you start learning with the other school friends. And then even like a school is getting bigger and bigger circle, right? And then the so-called villages and so forth, and then town or city and states, and it's just the world too. And like 1,000 years ago, you may not be able to travel that easily, but now, of course, you can travel by airplanes even. And so the world itself is getting smaller, definitely. So from that sense, we start meeting more other people. So then, how do you treat others? Or, even sometimes you don't understand the language, So then you can also think this way too, right? Oh, if you don't speak any language, or I don't understand any English or whatever, then how you feel? Of course, each one can speak their own language, but not necessarily the particular language if they are traveling. Do you want to give the help? Or if you have trouble in foreign countries, what do you think? You don't know anything about the language, maybe? You don't know anything about the place? Then how do you want it to be treated? Sometimes, the people could, give hands, right? And if you're giving hands, that create a lot of, comfort. So that's the part of the, simple interaction. But if you if you make yourself as the position of others, then you do something appropriate at that time. And of course, I probably have many people who have lived other country have this kind of experience, especially language. Even language itself, something new. English is new. Of course, we learn a little bit about English, but we don't know many words or vocabulary and many other customs as well. So. Even myself, I came to this country in 1985. It's getting longer now. But if I remember, the year that I came, of course, I don't know anything. So, a little bit something, but most of the part we don't know. So I learned, through the other people's kindness. They just give advice sometimes. In this country, you have to do this. Or even first time I was told, don't say sorry in this country or something like that. But anyway, that's something that I remember. And but each one has a different. Each country has a different system, and so I think how you interact is always very important parts encountering the new culture, new revisions, and again going back to the talks for the interface. Interface is meeting new people, new revisions. So it's something totally new sometimes. Even like we say East and West. So Eastern way of thinking and a Western way of thinking is pretty much different too. Like one God revisions versus many gods revisions. Yeah, it has a very different flavor for each one. And so once you meet all those people, how do you react? So that's the challenging for the interfaith activities. But one thing for me, for meeting other traditions, other revisions, actually something educational, because it gives me the different perspective. Just like coming to the other country, as I said, I'm originally from Japan, so I know the Japanese common sense and so forth, but it doesn't work to the other country. Whatever we know, everything has to be this way. In Japan, you have to be this, act like this, and but then in this country, you are not necessarily do the same way, because in Japan we just bow a lot, so many times. Konnichiwa, every day we say hello and so forth. But here we don't do much those things, and then even bowing means different things sometimes. You sort of like when you bow in Japan, we bow again each other. So bowing means you bow, you respect. And then others respect as well. So once you say bow, bowing, you bow each other. And then once, one person say thank you, then tend to be other people also say thank you too. So thank you, konnichiwa, hello, hello, kind of things. So, but then sometimes if the country is different, it doesn't work out that way too, right? It's just a simple greeting. Simple way of reacting is also different. So in a way, you learn new culture. So I don't bow as much nowadays. When you're in this country, when I'm here, but I feel like it's a nice custom to be able to bow, putting the hands together, and then show respect. So once you show respect, you can learn many things from others. So for me, interfaith experience is a learning experience, because this is my part of the world that we're living. But then when it comes to the other traditions or other culture, then that's something new you can learn. And so in a way, interfaith is very interesting for me. So, so many kind of thing. Oh, okay, that's how you think. Or that's how you do the prayer. Or that's how you, create even like a space, sacred space. So many different things you can experience and you can learn. So that's the fun part for me, at least, to be working with the interfaith. I think time is coming up, so I just wanted to also conclude with the short meditation. But this time, again, 3 bells. But first bell, you can think of happiness and peace to yourself. And the next bell, you extend happiness and peace to the others. And then the last bell, you're thinking of happiness and peace to all the beings, all of the people, all of the creatures on the earth. Again, sit with your back straight and relax, and thinking of happiness and peace to you. happiness and peace to others. And happiness and peace to all the universe. Okay, peace to you, and thank you very much for joining us today for this show. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
ITV, Call of Peace, Save Humanity.